Good morning and welcome to Manic Fishing. Well, I know in the previous video I said I don't think I'll be getting out for a little while. My conditions got a little bit better, so I'm just going to do a few little short trips. And what I explained on the last video is I couldn't find them at the time, but this is what I was looking for. These little things. And these are a red gill evolution. And this is what I think. We'll have a look to see if I can pick up a John Dory. There's some trigger fish out here. This is a massive tide today. It's an 8.1 tide, so it's going to be ripping. So I'm just going to mess about on here. When the tide starts to move, I'm bombing east. The further east you go until you get round the corner of Rye, the lesser the tide. So where you're fishing the tower, you're going to be hitting 3, 4, maybe 5 knots. Down there, you know, it should only be about 2 knots. So I'm going to hit a massive great wreck about 19 mile down east and have a go. Right, so we're hardly moving. I'm going to push myself into the middle. I've got a little setup. I've heard there's some big black bream on here, so I've cut some cubes up of cuttle. I'm going to try these down on my Temple Reef rod. I know that's not what it's designed for, but that's what I'm going to use it for today. And we'll just have a mess about and see how we do. So it's no real secret, I'm just on a bit of rough ground and you could pick up a few black bream here, and as I said, we'll try for this trigger slash John Dory and see. So I've just got a little a basic little bream rig here, just a two hook one down, sort of one up, with some nice little Sakuma. I think these are a little like a little crab hook. I'm not sure, I should know really, but yeah, that's the sort of the setup. So I'll chuck that down now. So I think I've got a lead here already. We'll put one of these ones down a Craig's, these little clock face ones, and all I'm going to do is just bounce it off the bottom. You know, all I'm doing with this is just literally going to drop it down and retrieve it, let it hit the bottom, and then just slowly just wind it up 10 and drop it back down again. Let me set my other camera up, always anticipation just in case. Well, I've just come to the end of this little reef. We are barely moving, but I'll spin back round so we go across the whole of it. So I'll just wind these ones in. Right, let's have a move round. So commercial guy's over there, he's getting his pouts probably for live baiting. Right, let's spin round. Alright, so I'm just into something now, not quite sure what it is. I don't think it's anything of any substantial, but it's a fish. That's all that matters. Probably a pouting. No, it's come off. Oh well, the one that got away. That's me messing about with that camera. I'm getting a bite on that bream rig. As I said, really and truthfully, you don't have to strike bream. You've got nice sharp hooks, they look themselves. But let's have a look at it, see what's there. Doesn't feel anything substantial. And this is what the commercial guys are looking for. Slightly smaller than that one, I should think, but that's a lovely bass bait. But we're not after them today, so he can go back. Get the hook out of him. You leave him alone. So I've just pushed myself in a lot closer now because there's virtually no tide at all. So I've just put myself in this. There's like a little wrasse hole here. I've just pushed myself into that, and you know, let's see what we got. See what's about. So I'll still go down with my bream rig and then mess about. I'm hoping to try and snarl a trigger, to be honest with you. Some trigger fish showing here. I'm hoping to get one of them, and as I said, really and truthfully, it'd be lovely to get a John Dory, but this is only just a sort of little bonus thing, just to see if I can. As I said to you in the previous video, I will be trying sort of, you know, an hour at a time, just to see if I can grab one while I'm doing other things. So let's get this this Evolution out. My little mate's over there on his rib, the guy I saw last time on his little inflatable. He's just shouted me and asked if I wanted any live bait, but I'm not I'm not fishing for bass today or anything. I don't really like live baiting too much, but yeah, we'll just have a go, see how we do. Well, we're not having a great deal of luck here now, and I'm right virtually, well, we are on slack water. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to bomb us 19 mile down east, and I'm going to have a little throw about with some slow jigs and just mess about. So the John Dory and the trigger fish, that'll be on another video. So as I said, I'll try for them. Every time I come out now, I'll try for them. If I can grab one, I'll grab it. So let's get ourselves down east. Watch this space. So we've just got ourselves down here. Let me show you, see if I can show you this this wreck. It does lay in line with the tide, and really and truthfully, we're supposed to be ebbing, so we're supposed to be going this way, but we're not. The wind's pushing us off it, so I'm just going to get myself round somewhere in the middle of it, and we'll have a little play. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down with my slightly heavier slow jig rod, and I'm going to use this nice Jimmy jig today. So we'll just make sure we got our clutch set about right. Which I think we are. Right, so I'm going to whack us in the middle, really, to be honest. And we'll just see how we get on the first drift. It's always hit and miss a little bit, but this is a fantastic wreck, this. I ain't fished it for a long time. Since I've been in the marina, I sort of fished them wrecks sort of that way, where I was at Hastings Club. This is, you know, just east of it. Lovely, lovely wreck. If wind and tide play ball, you run right through it. I should get some bream on here as well, but I'm just gonna literally mess about with the slow jig first. Let's see how we get on. So we'll flicker up the boat. We'll work out if we're actually on the right side, drifting and all of that. Yeah, seem to be on the right side of the boat. Right, so we're down. So down here, because we're east, we're only doing about 1.2, you know. If I'd have been up by the tower now, off Eastbourne, you'd be hitting probably 3-4 knots now. It's just, you know, I think it's because it's in a bay. You get further round to Rye Bay, you know, and sort of around the corner, and you're heading towards Dungeness, then the tide will rip again. But yeah, if you know, you know. So I'm flicking that right up the front of the boat. So we're in, it's not that deep actually, this wreck, 109 foot, 110 foot. So it's quite a nice one. So by the time that gets down, my line's down there at the minute. By the time that gets down, that's going to be nice and vertical to me. That's what I'm looking for. Right, I'm on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. 3 little turns to start with. Just let's see if we can work out where these fish are. The line's going slightly under the boat, but it's no real drama. So that first drift will actually show me where I need to position my boat, and you know, what side I need to fish. So I'll get my boat round facing the other way, so that I'm not going under the boat with it as such. Right, because I know now on that first drift where I'm going, I'm going to get myself slightly away from the wreck. I'm going to drop my bream gear down as well, and I've just worked that out really. You want to be about sort of 6-8 turns up from the wreck, but I'll drop it down. I know it's roughly 100 odd foot, so I'll drop it down and wind it. Rule of thumb is if you're hitting pouting, then you're too far down. The breams seem to sit above the pouting. Well, they do sit above the pouting. So let's just get myself round here. So I'm pretty good here, I think. So let's get these down. Let's get the bream one down first. So yeah, we're going to drift down it lovely. So let's just whack this down. Let it hit the bottom and then give it a few winds. All right, let's try it there for now. And what you'll have to do is you'll have to just give me a shout when that one goes. So let's get this one down. So I've just changed my leader where I had a snap off, and I'm down with another Jimmy jig, but this is I think this is a 180. It's quite a nice pink one. So let's try this. So my line's going that way, so we'll flick it over and out. Yeah, my line's going right under the boat, so I've got to fish the other side. I didn't even think about that when I pulled the boat round, but so let's flick it up there. Yeah, that's it. It's going down lovely now. And we know what this one does, this jig, because obviously we try them. We try them in the marina. Oh, I don't think that's a fish. Oh, it's off. Go for that. So I've hooked into something. It doesn't feel like it's fighting much, but whether I've just hooked a pouting on the way down, yeah, it's just a dead weight. So we'll see. Skip nose. Yeah. Oh, it's just come off. Baby pouting. Right. I'm just on the back edge of this wreck now. So we're just coming off it now. Alright, so let's try and get these rods down a little bit quicker next time. So what I've done, I've come sideways onto this wreck so that it'll hopefully I'll be able to drift nice for my for the slow pitching. So we just move, it'll also slow you down because obviously your boat's side onto the wind. So we'll let this one down first. So really it's a double bubble, isn't it, with a bream rig? Just hopefully see if we can snarl one. I know my friend from the other club, old boy Danny, he had a 4.5 pounder off of here last year. So I think we're somewhere there. I'll just leave it like that for now. Let's get the slow pitch one over. So the wreck's just about to come up in a minute. And the slow jig's just going down. So it's not quite coming up yet. It's just about to start and that jig's just about to hit the floor. Right, she's down. So just give it a couple of little turns to start with, just to so you're not hitting the bottom, you know, into the wreckage. I think I've probably hooked a pouting, but yeah, it's definitely not a pollock. Well, hopefully I can get this up and get it back down so it doesn't mess my drift up. My God, look at that. Well, there you go. A squid. Amazing. Squirting on me. That's amazing. That's great. Let's get a picture of that. So, amazing getting that squid. Certainly wasn't fishing for it, but I reckon it probably went for the glow on that, but it definitely got caught with the hook. So, you know, that's a win, that. So what I'm going to do is, because my lines were still having to go that side, I've gone round the other side of the wreck and going to bring my boat round this side. So then I should be able to fish that way. Yeah, I don't mind catching a few more of them. I'd say it felt funny because it grabbed it. It was like a dead weight. You know, cuttle are very similar as well. I've hooked a few of them, but I'll say it's certainly not intentional. I wasn't out squidding, not on a wreck, but they're here, aren't they? And that should be on the money. I'm hoping. Right, so I'm not going to mess about with the what's his name. I'm just going to go down, and what I've done is I've gone on with this one now. This will get me down there much quicker. This is a 150. This is a Jimmy jig, but I don't know if you saw in that previous video, I know exactly how these work, you know. So I already know what this does, so I can just do little twitches to get that jig to work, and that's going perfect. Going this side of the boat now, so I can fish this side. So let's move you around a little bit and let's get on some action. So that line's down there now, perfect. Right, we're on the bottom. The wreck's not come up yet, so showing quite a few fish right up in the column. So I'm not on the wreck yet, so I'll just work that jig up and down a little bit, going up, and then when that wreck comes up, I'll drop it straight down in the keel zone, hopefully. Right, so it looks like the wreck's coming up now. Right, so let's get it right back down now. And the wreck's just coming up now. So literally just doing this little bit. I know what it's doing. It's speeding all over the show. Let's turn my wheel so I can make my drift go in slightly tighter to that wreck. Well, let's get another squid, eh? Right, wreck's coming up now. So obviously just be aware that obviously that wreck's rising, so you might have to just wind up slightly higher. Nice slow action, make that jig work. Showing a few fish. So I've just come up about 5 or 6 turns. It's showing quite a few higher up in the column here. So I'll come up and then I'm going to drop down into them. Right, let's try and drop down on them. Just sort of stopping it. It's all the same stuff. Just find the fish in it. Same old stuff. Just little flicks, nice little flicks. Yep, that's a fish. Right, let's try not to lose it putting the camera on. So I'm taking my time with it, because if it's a small pollock, I want to put them back. I'm going to put everything. I'm not. No one wants any fish. You know, my mum don't want anything or anything, so I'm not going to bother. I don't keep fish anyway, as you know. But let's see what we got. It's not fighting very, very much, so maybe a grandad pouting. But yeah. Oh, what is it? So it's a horse mackerel. Caught in the side. So come out, Skip. Nope. Nope. Get out, you bugger. So I've still got time to go back down. So I reckon that's what that ball of fish is above me. They're mackerel. Well, you never know, there could be some bass on here. They love an horse mackerel. Yep. Just feels another dead weight again. Oh no, I don't know. Oh, it's going now. Yeah, nice. I think that's just come off. What a bugger. That was a bass then, I think. Huh. What a bugger. That's a shame. Oh, I'm on something else now. Seems like it's swimming up, but it's certainly not anything very big. Probably a mackerel. Yeah, another little scad. So let's chuck him back. There you go, didn't have to. Well, I'm going to spin back round. Well, I reckon there's going to be some bass on here, because that's what slammed me then, I'm pretty sure of it. As you see, it would take in line, but for some reason it didn't look. It can't have, obviously, whether it's just grabbed the jig or whatever, I'm not sure. But anyway, no worries, one that got away. Oh, so I just literally hooked into that wreck then, it's out now. So let's just come up a couple of little turns. The wreck comes right up. Oh, had a little take then. So I'm just doing these little flicks, this is all it needs. We know how that jig works. Skip's made up with that horse mackerel, made his day. So the wreck's flattened out a little bit now. We've come up this peak, so I'm just going to tempt myself and drop down virtually to it. Yeah, that was on it. Out. Tempting fate really. So I've got plenty of time. I'm going to reset this. It's just going away slightly. Oh, I'm in. There you go. That's nice. That's the best that got away, perhaps. Let's take my time. Certainly feels a bit better. Come on, Skip, come and have a look at this. Leave that scad alone. Now just being nice and gentle with it. It's got a nice few head shakes there. It's keeping the rod reasonably straight and just allowing the reel to do the work. Nice and gentle. I can put it back then, you know. Oh, look at that. Nice. What is it? Oh yeah. There you go. Nice pollock. Great. And because I brought that pollock up nice and slow, he darted back, you know. Just take your time with them. If you catch and release like me, just take your time, bring them up, you know, even stop sort of, you know, 10 meters before the top and just let it, you know, let it hold itself. It'll revive and then boom, chuck it back. Even if the swim bladder is slightly showing sometimes, they still go back if you dive them, you know. But anyway, let's get back around. Excuse the smoking. So I've just gone straight back down, same jig, and it's going down lovely now, right below me. You can see, even though that jig's quite big, it's very streamlined, and you don't need a lot to work it, you know. I'm just doing these little, you know, these little pumps. You don't have to wrench it, so I'm just touching that wreck there. So, you know, do a nice long one, let it flutter, and then just do these nice little short jigs, because you're down in that kill zone. That jig is darting. Well, that's going to keep the dog happy for the rest of the day, trying to get that scad. Keep looking at your sandy, you know, give you an idea where the fish are. So it is showing a few on the bottom, not many, but so I'm trying to keep contact with that. The jig's going away a little bit from me, so I'm going to reset it. Let's come up. I think I'm in. No, I went slack then. Right, so let's reset where I am. Skip, come on mate, pack it in. So the jig's sort of going that way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flick this the other side of the engine. Oops, right, I took my boat out. So I'm going to flick this here. Flick it over there. And that hopefully should come past my engine. See, my line's here now. Right, I'm down on the bottom. I think I'm just into a scad. Unfortunately, it spoilt that drift really. Oh well. Can't be all about the big pollocks. I don't know, perhaps I foul hooked one. It's coming up strange. No, yeah, I foul hooked it. Little pouting. Right, so let's get him off. Try and flick him off. Right, let's go back round. Our wind's slightly picking up, but we knew it would be today. But it's just nice to get out, isn't it? I've showed you in previous videos, moving that engine will move your drift round, you know. Yep. That's a fish. That's a better one. Right, come on up you bugger. Yeah, that feels better. Just take it nice and slow. Yeah, this feels better. Feels quite heavy. Whether I foul hooked it or not, it was head shaking a minute ago. Am I going to be able to get this net if I need it? Oh, so I foul hooked a big old ballon. But oh well. Alright, so I've still got time to get back down. Nice light one that, wasn't it? Sometimes stopping it part way down and letting it you know, so it gives a bit more flutter on the way down. Is that a fish or is that in the wreck? Oh, I don't say I've lost my lucky jig. I have. Right. Oh well. I've just whacked this other rod over, but it's got an 80-gram jig on. I think it'll be swept away, but we'll have a try. Just to save me, you know, not losing this wreck just by tying on. I'll just go down with this. I might put a slightly slimmer jig on this. Lovely rod, this Temple Reef. I went for the 0 in the end because it's just lovely and light. And I tick all the boxes, you know. This will work up to about 120 grams. And that, I mean, it says it'll work 300, but I wouldn't really put any more than about 250 on it, to be honest. And I don't believe you need much more than a 200-gram jig. You know, it's just about slimming it down, really. Right, I'm going to get this one up. I'll re-tie back on because I feel happier with the heavier jig, you know, the more streamlined jig. So let's see if I got one. Tie on, and I'll put you on when we're banging something. Right, so I'm going to stick with my light rod. Oops, right, just catching a wash. And what I've done is I've put this jig on, which is, I think it's 120 grams, but it's a much slimmer one. So I reckon this'll hit the money. Nice colour as well, nice pink. So I've slightly moved the way that my boat's drifting. Now I've gone sort of bow front now, to see if I can get a better drift line on here. Looks like I'm going to drift quite nicely here, and that's going down lovely, that. So let's just have a play. It's lovely fun. It's great fun catching it on this little lighter rod. I mean, it's great fun on any rod, and I've seen this movement. I check them all out, you know. I always check them out before I go out and use them, and I know what this one works. This is lovely, this one. It's going down perfectly, nice and in line with the boat, not sweeping away. Yep. There you go. Just adjusting it. Hit that fish then. I don't think it's anything very big. I may have just dropped that jig down and foul hooked something, but I'm sure I have because there's no head shaking going on. Yeah, so it's through the tail of Mr. Pout. Let's get him off. All right, let's get back down. And when I flick that up there, I try and tilt my tip of my rod so that there's the braid's going down nice and straight. You don't want the wind to take your braid. And then just ease that brake off. Yeah, we're running through it better now. Yep. And unfortunately, I think it's another pouting. You know when it's a pollock or a bass, you know, the head shake, so I'm not that bothered about bringing it up slowly, because I'm pretty sure I've just, as I've gone down, the hook's gone, you know, foul hooked it, which it has. Look, see that? Right, we've still got time. I'm so glad to be sort of semi-fixed at the minute, because when I did the video last week, I had another turn. I've got to the bottom of what it is. It's you know, they sort of said it's sciatica, then it's tendonitis and this and that. What I've got is inflammatory arthritis, so I'm on steroids. I'm like a racehorse now, but yeah, no, hopefully it will blast it out. You know, 4 or 5 weeks on steroids, I should be back to thrashing around the seas. But I feel much better. I'm not 100%. My arms can't move properly, but hey ho, it's nice to be out. Just have to do a few little short trips, get myself into it slowly. You know, where I've been sort of stuck on that armchair, all the muscles in my arms are gone and everything. I've got to slowly build myself back up, but we'll get there. Yep. I don't think it's very big. Certainly not the monster I want. Yeah, well, at least I can say I caught this one instead of foul looking it, but yeah, I'm quite pleased with that jig. Lovely little one. Right, let's have a spin round. So I'm just trying to work over this wreck. It's quite hard with this. This wind is not allowing me to drift the way I want to drift, but it is what it is. As long as we're on it, we're covering ground. Beautiful, this jig. I love it. That's a... I thought it was a fish. Is it a fish or? I think I've hooked. So there's loads of fish here, but I think I've hooked into a bloody pouting. It's ruined my drift, this. Right. Let's get back down. It's the only trouble when you're going through a wall of them, you know, with a slow jig especially, you'll snarl them, you know. Yeah, it's not, there's no resistance with this rod. It's a perfect weight, ideal combination for it. It's nice and slim and streamlined, so it's going down there nicely. I'm going slightly away, but I'm not nowhere near that 45 degrees, so it's working perfectly fine. I can probably, let's just let it play a bit, and probably reset and get back down again. Nice and gentle, nice and slow, little flicks, nice little flicks, that's all you want. You're just making that dance, really. You're like a puppet master. Right, let's adjust. I've got plenty of time. That's the fish, but it ain't the fish I want. It's not the one we want, unfortunately. A spinning pouting. Your hooks are so sharp. Right, so we're still on the money. By coming east, I mean, I'm only doing 0.7, 0.8 knot of a knot. If I was being sort of a couple of miles off the town now, we'd be hitting 3-4 knots. It's just unfishable. Anything over a 7.4 I always go east. I mean, this is an 8.1 this tide. It's a monster, one of the biggest ones we get, you know. I don't think that's a fish, I think that's a wreck. Let's try and bounce it out. So look, by bouncing it you can get that out, you know. Sometimes it's just caught the bottom of the jig around the structure and you can just literally wiggle it. Don't always work, as you know, but it did that time. Dropping it back down in there. Yeah, that's a fish. Not a great one though. It's not a great one. Right, I've just retied my other rod on and I'm going to go down. I got this from Terry at Gigabyte. This is a tungsten one, but it was quite a lot of money, and I expect this will be the first one to be lost. So this is only 100 grams, but this should go down really fast. He asked me to try it, so let's see if I can't lose it. Seems to go down lovely and stay nice and vertical. Yep. So doesn't feel that big. I'm hoping it'll do a bit of head shaking. I think it's just a pouting. I'm sure it is. And I think it's foul hook. The way it's coming up, it feels quite heavy. Yep. Tiny pouting through the belly. I've got to watch these hooks of Terry's because they're like hypodermic needles. Right, I'm off for that, so I'll go back round. Now I'm going to be a bit cheeky here because I'm the only one on the wreck, and I'm just going to push myself into different areas of this wreck. I'm sure they're here. I'm sure there is some decent fish on here, but I'm just going to push myself in, and I'm not too concerned about it all. So let's just push myself in here. I'm already on the wreck. Let's keep going down with this tungsten one, and that's a fish. But what it is, I don't know. Feels a little bit better, but I'm probably thinking it's the dreaded pouting. Yep. Yep, but unfortunately I don't think it's anything of any clout. I'm the pout master today. Yeah, we've hit something, but I think that is a pouting, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately, I didn't really want the video to start on a pouting and end on a pouting, but it is what it is. All right, let me show you something. You can't say I haven't tried to work this wreck. Let me show you this. See, you can see my trails like Spaghetti Junction, but at least we tried. You know, at the end of the day, fishing's fishing. It's not always a red letter day, and today it wasn't, but most enjoyable. I'm just glad to be back on the water. Just going to try and do these short little trips, build myself up again, and then we'll be out there like we should be, smashing fish all the time. Thanks very much for watching and coming out on this journey with me. At the end of the video, you'll see a prompt for another video. I'm hoping that's better than this one. and then you'll see the subscribe button. We're over the 5k mark. It's not all about subscribers. You check out on my channel how many views I've had. You compare it to some of these other YouTube channels who've got 7, 8, 10,000, 12,000 subscribers. They haven't got the views Manic Fishing have got, so I really appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Listen, have a wonderful day.